Hi everybody and welcome to Fundamentals of Character Design. My name is Wouter Tulp and let me start by telling you a little bit about this class. So character design, first of all let's think about what character design is. Um, to me, it all starts with storytelling. Whether you are designing for games, for children's books, illustration, or for movies, or whatever, it doesn't matter. To me, it's all about storytelling. Every drawing that you do tells a story and should be communicating an idea or a concept. So characters are the ones who are driving the story. What they do, often based on their motivations, their desires, their beliefs, their ideas, their philosophies, or whatever, that will drive the story. They will act and something will happen, or they will react. Um, so if a character is an actor, then we as a character designer are in a way like a casting director looking for the right actor for the role. But it's more than that, um, because we don't just look for something and we find it. We design it from the bottom. So we start with nothing and we design the way the character looks, the way that he feels, the way that he moves, the way that he dresses, uh, anything you can come up with that will help define a character in such a way that everything fits the story. Everything that you design should be supporting the story, and because it will become a part of the story. Everything that is in the character will become a part of the story. And um, storytelling to me is like, um, if there is something that you want to say, you don't want to use words that have nothing to do with it. So let's say I see a bird flying. When I want to say that, I won't say I see a bird football flying. That's it's not clear what I mean when I suddenly say the word football. So, and in your drawing, you want to be as clear as that. You want to draw just those things that support your story, and you don't want to put things in there or leave things out of there that are needed to be as clear as possible. So the goal of this class is to, in the end, to give you some tools to be able to successfully design a character, but also to give you to open the door for creativity and coming up with original and creative ideas to help you not only technically design your character, but also to make him appealing, to breathe life into this character, um, and make them unique. So I think there is a combination of technique and ideas. If you, for instance, if you want to play the piano, uh, and you in your mind you can have this beautiful idea of a masterpiece, but when you sit down behind a piano, you will have to learn your scales first, and how to move your fingers over the keys, and what chords are, in order to be able to play. Otherwise, it will be just sound, and you have no idea how the piano works. And the other way around is also true. If you just learn scales but you don't have imagination or creative ideas, it's just creating sounds in order. So you want to combine those two and be able to come up with ideas and concepts and stories that are that communicate and that are personal to you. And then you also want to have the tools that help you um, to actually make those drawings and make them work. Let's go over the upcoming classes. Lesson 1, well, I've already started. This is an introduction to character design. I will be speaking a little bit about playing with the shapes of the face and the head and the body. Creativity is all about playing. I think if you are feeling free to play and don't have no fear to make mistakes, but just explore and try things, then you will come up with the best ideas. So I'm introducing some approaches to playing. Lesson 2 will be about dimensional drawing. In order to create characters that are believable, and also if you want to be able to draw several versions of the same character in different poses, different gestures, different actions, it is important to understand dimensionality in your drawing. So in lesson 2 I will show you some examples of how to learn to understand the three-dimensional aspect of drawing and how it is important to try and understand how your characters are living in a three-dimensional world. Try to think of them as if they are sculpted. Lesson number 3 will be about gesture. Gesture is a way of telling a story with the body of the character you are drawing. You have visual signs at your disposal as an artist. Our drawings don't make sound, so you can make them talk. What you want to do then is to use the body and have it act for you. How do you show that somebody is feeling sad, or somebody's feeling happy, or somebody is moved by something? You can use the human body and create different poses and actions with this body and emphasize it in such a way that it becomes clear. Before we had our spoken language, we used the body already to communicate, so it is really a way to there are a lot of possibilities to be really clear just using the body to tell a story. Lesson 4 will be about shapes and variation. For some reason we are likely to, if we don't pay attention to it, we're likely to draw parallels, and we are drawing symmetry, everything even, similarly divided, and we want to achieve the opposite, because when we add variation, suddenly our drawings become much more important. So lesson 4 will be about how do I add variation in the shapes I am using in such a way that my character is really what I want him to be. How does it become interesting? Why are some shapes and divisions of shapes not working, and why are other shape combinations are working? So lesson 4 will be about playing with shapes and adding variation to it. Lesson 5 will be about reference and clothing. Clothing tells a lot about a character. Now I can, for instance, if I have to draw a woman with a 17th century dress, but it has to be made out of leaves and grass and all materials you can find in the forest, then I can just start drawing. But if I really look for images of 17th century dresses, and I really know what the purpose of these dresses were, why they were designed in such a way, how they were technically made, then I can use this information and add this to my leaves and grass dress that I have to come up with. So even if I have to design something
from imagination. I use reference from real life that I look to make my drawing believable. This is really important, and it adds really a level of it seems actual, as if it's real, and using reference gives you information that you would never have come up with just by thinking of it. Let's go to lesson 6. That will be covering hands and feet. Now, some of you may think of hands and feet as a kind of a dull subject, and there are a lot of artists, especially artists starting out, that will hide the hands. They will draw pictures of characters with the hands in their pockets or behind their backs, and because hands are difficult. Now, if we pay a little attention to what hands actually are and simplify the essence of it, then they are not as hard as you may think. And in fact, they are also very important. Like I mentioned, we use gesture to tell a story with the body. Hands are very expressive, and they really can tell a story, and they are really refined in telling a story. We can add gestures with our hands and say something really specific that you really need in some poses. So it's really important to understand how to use hands and feet and how to draw them in such a way that they add to the character. Lesson 7 will be about expressions, and then mainly expressions in the face. The face, we can it's important for a character designer to be able to draw the same face from different angles and with different expressions. And however you want the character to appear the same, we can actually squash and stretch it quite severely, so and in such a way that it still is the same character. So there are a lot of possibilities there, and we're gonna talk about it and do some assignments regarding expressions. And the last lesson will be about storytelling. Um, Interesting drawings are drawings that are not completely finished in the sense that you want the viewer to have some space to fill in their own story. If everything is clear, no, I don't mean clear. If everything is laid out in such a way that there is nothing left for the imagination, it's really not that interesting. If you create a drawing that poses a question like what has just happened or what will happen, it becomes interesting, and the viewer will imagine his own story by looking at your drawing. So you need to put enough information in there to tell your story, but leave enough out of it for the viewer to create their story from your drawing. And there are several ways to do this: by adding contrast, by adding anticipation, and I will cover several of these techniques in this last lesson. So this is a short overview of the lessons for the next couple of weeks. I hope you are excited. I am, so let's get started. Okay, so let's start drawing. Like I said, to me, drawing is a lot about playing and exploring. So what I want to do is to try and start with some random shapes and ideas, and just to see what happens if I do this, for instance, let's add a little variety to it even more. Okay, now we have a weird shape, and let's see what we can make out of this shape. Character design is often just like casting an actor for a film. The only difference is that a casting director, he looks for an existing actor and look how he acts, what he looks like, and then somebody else will pick their clothes and make sure that he is the perfect fit for the role. Now, as a character designer, you're actually doing all of this. You are the one who is designing both the clothes but also the looks of the actor. You can have ideas of how he would walk, if he maybe you can even have ideas of what he would sound like, what the accent is that he has, anything that you can do to become the character in your mind in order to draw him. That's something that you will use. Now, what I'm doing right now is actually the opposite. I am discovering while I'm drawing, so I don't have an idea yet of what I will be making. I'm using a shape, and I will let the shape dictate what my drawing will become. It is my starting point, my source of inspiration, and I will respond to what I see.